Good evening. This is Akash Bani. The news read by Shubhrasachi Bhattacharjee. Prime Minister Narendra Modi attended the ASEAN-India Summit at Jakarta in Indonesia today morning. The Prime Minister arrived in Jakarta in the wee hours today to attend the ASEAN-India Summit and the East Asia Summit. In his remarks at the 20th ASEAN-India Summit, PM Modi said, India-ASEAN partnership has reached the fourth decade and it is an honor for him to co-chair the summit. He congratulated Indonesian President Joko Widodo for organizing the summit. Mr. Modi said ASEAN is central pillar of India's Act East policy and ASEAN has an important place in India's Indo-Pacific initiative. He also called for amplifying the voice of the global South. The Prime Minister said last year India-ASEAN Friendship Day was celebrated and gave it a form of comprehensive strategic partnership. He said the history and geography unite India and ASEAN. Mr. Modi said along with it the shared values, regional integration and the shared belief in peace, prosperity and a multipolar world also unite India and ASEAN. He said there has been consistent progress in India-ASEAN mutual cooperation in spite of atmosphere of global uncertainty. At the ASEAN-India Summit in Jakarta, Mr. Modi announced to open Indian embassy in Dili, Timor-Leste. The theme of this year's ASEAN Summit is ASEAN Matters, Epicentrum of Growth. He said ASEAN matters because in the grouping everyone's voice is heard and ASEAN is the epicenter of growth because the ASEAN region plays a crucial role in global development. He said, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one earth, one family, one future. This sentiment is also the theme of India's G20 presidency. He said the 21st century is Asia's century. Mr. Modi said for this it is necessary to build a rule-based post-COVID world order and efforts by all for human welfare. At the East Asia Summit, productive discussions were held on enhancing closer cooperation in key areas to further human empowerment. In his address, Mr. Modi highlighted convergence on vision for Indo-Pacific between India and ASEAN and underscored that ASEAN is the focal point of Quad's vision. He called for strengthening multilateralism and ensuring a free, open and rules-based Indo-Pacific. The Prime Minister also called for collectively addressing global issues including terrorism, climate change, cyber security and challenges related to food, health and energy security. Mr. Modi has left for India. Mr. Modi presented a 12-point proposal for strengthening India-ASEAN cooperation covering connectivity, digital transformation, trade and economic engagement, addressing contemporary challenges, people-to-people contacts and deepening strategic engagement. He proposed establishing multimodal connectivity and economic corridor that links Southeast Asia, India, West Asia, Europe. Mr. Modi offered to share India's digital public infrastructure stack with ASEAN partners. He announced ASEAN-India Fund for Digital Future, focusing on cooperation in digital transformation and financial connectivity and renewal of support for Economic and Research Institute of ASEAN and East Asia, ERIA, to act as knowledge partner for enhancing the engagement. He called for working together on mission life. He offered to share India's experience in providing affordable and quality medicines to people through Jan Aushadhi Kendras. The Prime Minister called for collective fighting and terrorism, terror financing and cyber disinformation. He invited ASEAN countries to join Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that India's G20 presidency has focused on human-centric progress to ensure that the fruits of globalization reach the last mile. In an article in an English daily, Mr. Modi said, for India, the G20 presidency is not merely a high-level diplomatic endeavor. He said, as the mother of democracy and a model of diversity, India has opened the doors of the experience to the world. PM Modi said, India's G20 presidency strives to bridge divides, dismantle barriers and sow seeds of collaboration that nourish a world where unity prevails over discord. That's all in this news bulletin. Namaskar.